Conference, compassion and empathy have long been Scotland's values when it comes to welcoming asylum seekers and refugees to our country. And nowhere has that been more evident than in the city of Glasgow. For more than 20 years, Glaswegian communities have hosted now many, many thousands of asylum seekers and refugees, Congolese, Tamil, Kurdish, Eritrean, Afghan, Iranian, Syrian, Ukrainian, and many, many more. And they are Glaswegians now, our neighbours, our friends, our colleagues, and I'm very proud indeed that two of my fellow Glasgow SNP councillors come from our refugee communities, Councillor Abdul Bastani and Councillor Rosa Saleh. And it's in no small part down to the contribution of those refugee communities that Glasgow is the vibrant, diverse, truly global city that we know today. Sabir Zazai, the director of the Scottish Refugee Council, has rightly described Glasgow as a beacon of integration. But that successful integration conference has been despite the regressive and blatantly cruel asylum policies of successive Westminster governments, Labour as well as Tory. And their latest planned assault on the human rights of asylum seekers and refugees might be their worst yet. Many have been waiting for years for their asylum claims to be processed, thanks to Westminster government incompetence. And now, to clear the huge backlog that they've let build up, the Home Office plans to mass process thousands of claims across the UK, 2,500 in Glasgow alone, in the coming weeks. That's not the bad bit, Conference. We want people to get decisions, and we want them to get positive decisions at that. The appalling part is that the Tories intend to make those people homeless, en masse. They'll be thrown out of their asylum accommodation, and Glasgow City Council will have to find homes for thousands of people potentially in the space of weeks. Even worse, hundreds more could have their asylum decisions refused, and because we are prevented by law, a law put in place by Tony Blair's government, from providing them with any support whatsoever, they could be forced into destitution and onto the streets of Glasgow. It is an appalling way to treat people, Conference, and it is completely unnecessary. The UK government could simply allow people to remain in their asylum accommodation until the council is able to source them a permanent home. That is what we want them to do. It's certainly what we would do if we were in control of asylum accommodation in the city. But asylum accommodation was privatised by the Tories. The provider wants to keep making its profits, and the Tories want to clear more asylum seekers out of the south of England where their voters are and dump them not just in Glasgow but across the UK, leaving us to pick up the pieces of shattered and traumatised lives without a single extra penny of help from Westminster. And because Glasgow is the biggest asylum authority in the UK, by some distance, we will be hit harder than anyone. Conference, Glasgow's history shows it's more than possible to support asylum seekers and refugees to successful integration into their new community. But the Tories don't want that. For them, asylum seekers are just weapons in the right-wing culture war. They don't care about the damage they'll cause to people's lives or to public services. But we do care. We say it is utterly unacceptable to force people into homelessness. It is unconscionable to deliberately cause a humanitarian crisis, and it must be stopped. Conference, the SNP administration at Glasgow City Council will do everything that we can to fight this. We would really appreciate your support. Please support the motion.